I'm Nathalie Kerstens, and this is Daphne van Gemen, my colleague from Innovation Space. We are working at TUI Innovation Space, the center of expertise for challenge-based learning and student entrepreneurship. What we do at Innovation Space is we offer societal challenges to our students within the education, and the times of COVID-19 have proven to be a quite nice example to show you what we are capable of doing. So when the corona crisis hit us, we thought that it was time to do something to also contribute to society. So we have set up the brokering platform TUI Against COVID-19. And Daphne, you were involved from the beginning of the platform. Could you tell us a bit more of how it happened?
I can tell you something about that. So we were all sitting at home, and there were just watching the news and the COVID-19 and the corona. It was all over the news, and there were some students at especially the biomedical engineering department that knocked on the door of René van Donkelaar, the education director, and said we really want to do something. So they came to us to Innovation Space, and we sat together. We had some online meetings, and we're thinking, what can we do? And then we came up with the platform. So we decided to launch a website where industry, hospitals, etc. could request for some help, and also students and researchers could offer their help. And the idea was to match the students that offered their help to for instance, a hospital that requested some help. And this is then the website that we built, and where you could find the different challenges that we collected, and also that students and researchers or others, volunteers, could sign up. And also behind curtains, we also were doing the matchmaking to see if we could match students to the challenges. And here are then some nice facts and figures. Almost all departments were involved. So students from all departments signed up. Most of them were from biomedical engineering. Approximately 60% of the people that signed up that were in our database, we matched them to some challenges, and really in the short period of short 3 months, we have 9 challenges that started. So students and other volunteers are working on 9 different challenges. So Nathalie, can you tell me maybe, and also something about those challenges?
Yeah, of course. So the first challenge, where it all started with the biomedical department, was treating children with aerosol in a safe manner, so not to spread virus particles in the air. So this was the first project that we were involved in at Innovation Space, and our role was to see if we could also match students from other departments to this project, so that it becomes a real interdisciplinary team to work on this. There is actually a very nice podcast that is also available at the TUI website about this project. It's about one of the series of researching and teaching in times of COVID-19. So if you want to know more about this project, you can find it there. One of the other projects that we have been working on with the platform is the 1.5 concerts. So Muziekgebouw Eindhoven came to us with the challenge: how can we make sure that we ensure a very nice and pleasant environment for our customers to enjoy the shows and the music, while still making sure that the environment is safe for everyone in the building? This challenge was taken up by Laetitia Ouillet. She is the director of the strategic area energy at TUI, and she wanted to also contribute her personal time to this project, and she did a really great job.
Hi Laetitia, welcome that you're here. Great that you're here. As Nathalie told, you're involved in the 1.5 concert challenge. Can you tell a little bit more about it? How you made this challenge as project leader to a huge success?
Thank you very much. Thanks for the floor. This project was conducted by the TUI Innovation Space in really a month of time. We started in April. This was the first contact we had with the concert hall of Eindhoven was in April 2020, and we've actually just rounded the project up, and that is June 2020. Just a quick glance at the concert hall. The concert hall of Eindhoven is actually one of the top 10 concert halls in the world in terms of acoustics. So not as much how many people fit into it, but in terms of how good the acoustic is for jazz concert or for example, chamber music concerts. What you see here is the main hall. It sits 1250 in non-corona time, and you could even have for a pop concert room for 1750 people. The chairs cannot be taken out because the concert hall has actually been carved into a hill in Eindhoven. It's got a huge podium of 12 meters by 18 meters, and it has a volume of 14,500 cubic meter. The smaller hall is actually the one everybody's so enthusiastic about because it doesn't need any strengthening of the sound, and this is where all CDs are, for example, recorded. Both halls are in the same building. This is the director of the concert hall, and he was. This is his opening speech to us. We went for a short site visit before we started the project. He called us as there was, as of May 2020, the possibility to ease the lockdown. And that meant that the government announced that as of the 1st of June, there would be 30 visitors per hall allowed. And that as of the 1st of July, this number could grow to 100. Reopening a concert hall is more than just counting visitors at the entrance. It's about reviewing the entire customer journey. How do people book? What is their booking behavior? Do they come with their wife? Do they come with their children? With their grandma? We needed to have an indication of who those customers were, but also how do they move within the building, and what sort of flow of information is there? They approached us with a question, and they said, could you please, with all the knowledge and experience you have at the TU Eindhoven, make sure that you help us reopen in phase 1 and 2, so the 30 and 100 visitors, but give us some sort of a future view of how this could be done with more visitors within the 1.5 meter economy. So we were never really busy with the 30 or the 100, but we were always having the vision of how the concert hall could reopen in the 1.5 meter economy. How did we approach it? Well, Innovation Space allocated a project manager, that was me, and I created a multidisciplinary team. We had people from the mathematics department, a PhD student and 2 professors. We had some people from the built environment department. We had some people from a statistic department from another university who just joined us on a voluntary basis. And we've had some other students that just offered their time and were not bothered whether it had to do with cleaning techniques or programming the ticketing office. It was a great team, and I think it's quite crazy to say that I've never met these people. Still to today, we haven't met. Everything happened through the internet, and we work with Microsoft Teams and Dropbox. We worked extremely closely with the end customer, and I think this is what really made this project a success. The Muziekgebouw Eindhoven, the concert hall of Eindhoven, had allocated its own project manager, so it was just me and her communicating, and there was no communication around it. Well, there was a lot of communication around it, but the lines were clear. The basis of the whole project is the capacity calculation. The capacity calculation is really about how do we make sure that we are using as much of the hall as possible while guaranteeing that people are sitting safely from each other in the hall. There has been all sorts of possibilities that have been offered by the branch and the concert hall branch. We've been talking about having plexiglass between visitors. We've been talking about having some sort of a fabric separation between chairs. We've been talking about allocating people chairs 1.5 meters from each other, even if they were from the same family. But the concert hall really wanted to guarantee that people would have an enjoyable experience, a nice evening with their family, with their spouse, with their children, without having to really bother about the 1.5 meters. So we needed to make sure that the 1.5 meter was guaranteed, but that it wouldn't be their problem. We first analyzed 2 years of historical data from previous bookings to make sure that we had the booking behavior of visitors. This is where the statistic department came in. Do people come alone? Do they come as a pair? When they go to a jazz concert, do they come with 3 people or more? So we defined different types of concerts and also allocated a booking profile to each of these concerts. And then we computed the best allocation of seats. This was what the mathematics department did. And this gave you this sort of profile. So this is a way that we computed how many singletons, 4 bookings, couple bookings, how we could allocate that the best in each of the concert halls. So this is the small hall, and this would be the large concert hall. We had a lot of interaction with the concert hall, obviously, because all sorts of information started coming through, which made it a little bit complicated. For example, wheelchair sitting. Where does that happen? Well, as it happens, we found out that the places where wheelchairs needed to be reserved. Fire exits, you need to think about, well, all sorts of new information came to us, so we've had a lot of these. We produced a lot of version of these. There was a lot of pressure on obtaining this information, and that put some pressure on the project as well, as the concert hall branch as a whole was in discussion with the ministry for subsidy or compensations of the fact that they were losing money by not being able to welcome as many visitors as they wished. And they really needed to have an indication of the room capacity, the hall capacity. So there was a bit of pressure on that, but we managed. The routing. We received some floor maps that were available from the architect who once was involved in building the hall and renovating the hall. And we got a very long list of factors that needed to be taken into account. Think of lifts, stairs, the multiple foyers, so places where people have a drink afterwards, which one were double doors, which were not double doors. So this resulted in difficult floor maps, but we had a fantastic master student who produced all those floor maps himself and worked extremely closely with the concert hall. We could only start on this phase once we knew with what capacity we needed to be doing the numbers. So everybody was a bit waiting for each other, but it gave us a lot of time to bring all those factors into the equation. What we also did for the concert hall of Eindhoven is to design a protocol. If you reopen a social hall, whatever it is, whether it's a sport facility or it's a stadium or it's a musical, you need to be having a protocol which is approved by the government. Designing the protocol was really the phase in which we tried to translate what we had done as research into like proper concrete stuff. Do you need to wear a mask, yes or no, if you go to the toilet? Do you need to have people use the cloakroom, yes or no? How much room is there for a cloakroom? So that was, there definitely was a phase in which you can ask yourself whether it has to do with university work, but it was important to be writing the protocol ourselves, because it forced us to make sure that what we had produced in terms of knowledge was usable by the concert hall. Think about flow management, fire safety, communication to visitors before, during and after the visit, the refund policy, like I said, the use of masks at the toilet, frequency of the cleaning. We have been working on a lot. What I did not mention, but was definitely an important part of this project, was also that the concert hall of Eindhoven has a very innovative technique for the air circulation within the hall. And for that we have had great help from the group of Bert Blokken from civil engineering, who has been doing all the testing on site with his research groups to make sure that we knew how the air would be refreshed and circulated within the building. We noticed that we really needed to give time to the concert hall to digest all that information. We were on a roll, and we were really excited about this project, but they were dealing with a very difficult time. They are still dealing with a very difficult time, because they are losing lots of money, and it's very unclear for them, what the future looks like. So what we did, actually, that's maybe important. What we did is that we provided them with a spreadsheet in which every factor had a scenario, and we drafted the pros and the cons of each of the scenarios so they could just take decisions. Things we cannot decide for them. We cannot decide for them whether they want yes or no that people use the cloakroom or have to pay for it. So we try to make it as easy as possible. Last but not least, the programming of concerts. How is that going to go ahead? The whole allocation has implications for programmation of concerts. We talked to the acoustic, a startup on the university ground that is doing acoustics and has been doing it a lot for the concert hall. And we tested with them whether the allocation of seats would have any implication for the sound quality. You need to be thinking about the podium depth. For example, if you want to have brass instruments or music choirs, there's issues around droplets and aerosols. And also, we are now in a phase where we try to integrate the mathematical model, which has been created by the University of Eindhoven, into the booking system of the concert hall, so that they can really have a workable situation. I think this whole project really was about finding a balance between the best solution on paper and the amount of work versus the profit it would generate for the concert hall team. So it was a great project.
Okay. Well, thanks, Letitia, for this great story. And can you maybe tell us a bit more about your role in this challenge?
My role? Well, it was a very complex challenge. It was actually much more complex than I would have thought when I started this. I think what I did was, from the start, just accept the complexity and just gather all the information, and then I made a big Excel spreadsheet, and then I started to put all the information in compartments, like this is all about safety, this is all about cleaning, this is all about ticketing, and I didn't bother the team that much with the complexity. So I added layers of complexity every time they came with a new. So the mathematics department started, and then when they came with their first results, I just said, well, there's just one thing I didn't say about the exits and the fire exits.
Kind of distributed the information at different time points, but also to different teams. So mathematics department and the other.
So I had meetings with each of them, each of the teams, and sometimes when there was a reason for teams to talk together, I would just have a meeting with them as well. But there were not a lot of big meetings because there was a lot of time pressure and everybody knew what they had to do. But in Microsoft Teams, I created a file so that everybody could see what each and one of us had done. So I was extremely transparent on the output.
Okay. Well, great, thank you. And I believe that this is a great example how an interdisciplinary team works together on a challenge and fulfilling it and make it to such a great outcome. Thank you.
And thanks for giving me the chance.
So this project has been in the news quite often, together with some other project. Daphne, what happened there?
Well, when we launched our website, our platform, then immediately it was all over the social media, but also some other media picked it up and showed it, but also next to that some other projects were indicated in the news. So that was really nice that it was picked up so quickly. And what we all can say then from this journey we took is that can really the formula of innovation space really proved its strength. So also in these times we are connecting students and staff to the industry and the social organization, and where they can change their knowledge and work together on something to do for this world. And it's just proved that it's an excellent way to stay connected between to the students and the staff in these difficult times.
So what we have done with TUE Against COVID-19 platform was something that students could be matched onto challenges into their extracurricular programs, but we also work on societal challenges within education. So if you would like to also benefit from the challenges that we collect from different organizations, please feel free to contact us and see. Then we can see if we also have societal challenges that you can use in your educational program. So for that, you can contact Innovation Space at TUE.nl. And I would also like to invite you to take a look at the TUE Against COVID-19 platform if you'd like to know more about the challenges that we have done. So for now, it's time to say goodbye. We would love to keep in touch and perhaps see you again soon in real life for a virtual coffee.